ورجعنا تاني. كنا فين بقى؟ الراجل ده. هنشوف هنا كده فيه. الله. اوف. ايه ده؟
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonnathan Rieid.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Blood quality. عشان دي 500 اكس بي. طبعا لو اكتر يبقى ماشي. Memorize to drink the blood of your prey. You first need to memorize them. To lead them مش عارف الويب سايت. أكله ولا إيه؟ Embrace to release him. Releasing a clay will provide a massive XP, but we're aware that will be consequences. Knowing more about it will increase experience gain. بص احنا هنسيبه دلوقتي عشان نجمع موضوع الهنتات والحاجات دي. ناخد XP.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
شي عمو في هنتات. نزود البلاد كواليتي بتاعته. ميمورايز ليفل 1. ماشي. المفروض دي المنطقة ودي الناس اللي فيها. دي المنطقة اللي فاتت. عمو عنده فتيج. يبقى هنقدر نعالجه بحاجة كده. عشان في ناس كتير في المنطقة. انت من المنطقة يعني بتاعت stable دي healthy. ايش المفروض كده احنا هنرجع بقى يعني الأماكن دي ونجمع حاجات أو كده. استنى بس. لوت. أهم حاجة اللوت.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
مش هو كان بيموت طيب؟ ولا هو خلاص بقى كويس؟ هو احنا ينفع نتكلم معاه؟
Did I black out? What? What happened?
يمكن نروح الناحية التانية. مينفعش. أنا من هنا. ماشي خلاص هنطلع للمهمة بتاعتنا. ده. بوسترات كده مش لازمة. ماشي. أيوة.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Hello, Sakura.
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Joonathn Reid. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reid. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reid. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reid. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
هو ده الكلام. هو ده الكلام يا جدع.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything. And it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Local investigation. New citizen available. ده كويست ليه دعوة بالراجل ده يعني.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
يعني فكرة ان الواحد يقعد يكلم الناس دي ويطلع منهم معلومات بصراحة مش عارف، حاسس ان هي ممكن تبقى مملة بعد فترة، بس هنشوف. لايف انا خلصت دي فاضل هنت انا بقولها هنت. ماشي عندك ايه؟
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
شوتجن ده مش عالي. والت مش عارف شوتجن شيل بالشيلنز وانا معايا 77. دي الحاجات اللي معايا. هنا معايا 6 هنا 18. تسمى الأويبن and modules. دي سيل. أكيد مش هبيع أي حاجة، بس ساعات بيبقى في حاجات بتتباع يعني بتتباع عشان الفلوس بس. مش عارف موجود الحاجات دي هنا ولا لأ. ماشي عنده شوية حاجات كده مش عارفين الأسلحة عملوها شوتجن بس ما علينا. في ناس كتير هنا. يلا بينا.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reid has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Vampyr. Hint.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
ماشي. Your life in London. فتحنا حاجة ولا الحاجة دي بتاع.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Pembroke is still standing after this epidemic. There's good reason to be proud.
شوف الحاجة دي.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonnathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the...
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Base of food. ما شاء الله لسه الخمسة انت جامدة جدا. Medical check-up, basic details.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
Thank you for your concern, but I'm fine.
ماشي. What is this
How are
information
you?
here?
Not good.
أنا سألت ماشي. Tell me
I'm not
about
familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
لا محترم.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tibbets. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
بعدين بقى الناس دي.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
ماشي.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
عم ميلتون احنا قلنا كلمناه.
Good evening.
Good evening.
خلاص سمعت كل حاجة.
Goodbye.
فين عم دكتور تيبت؟ أيوة تردد أو إيه؟
Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Your life, you're exhausted. Yes.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Doc.
Later.
Good evening, sir.
Later.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
Later.
Good evening, nurse.
Later.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Much later.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
الراجل ده منهم.
It's locked. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being...
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels.
An interesting point of view.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have.
How did you get...
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by...
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the near...
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
A pawnbroker?
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you?
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think
What kind of goods?
with the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays.
Quite depressing.
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What?
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man.
Please show me what you...
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, Reed.
This formula written on a piece of paper seems complex, need to be analyzed. Earlier. المفروض ان في هنا مهمة.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody. نزل بضع عادي.
تعال اقول لك بس. ليفل ده صعب عليا. الدنيا بقت أصعب، الدنيا بقت أصعب.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
مش فاهم هو انا كده مش كده صحيح. ايوه اديني.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
I have found your wallet.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken?
Good. Good evening,
Good evening, Doc.
Pepper, I know you're very
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's...
Goodbye.
ماشي كفاية بقى ونعمل المهمة. دكتور سوينسي.
Not now.
ده سلاح جديد. الله ماشي. common hacks so attack speed damage. ده كده أقوى من attack speed أسرع. دي بتاخد منها أقل شوية بس أنا دمج أعلى. أعلى في الدمج أقل في الاستامينا. طيب ده بتاعي ده صح؟ أيوه أحسن صح ده. بص كده ممكن نلاقي لوت هنا
It's locked all right.
واضح إن يبقى في سكيل بقى لفتح الحاجات دي. إيه تاني؟ في إيه تاني؟ في دور فوق. في ماشي نطلع فوق. لأ ماشي. طب الناحية دي لأ برضه ماشي. مشكلتي في اللعبة لغاية دلوقتي حتة الكلام الكتير ده. يعني أنا فاهم إنه بيفتح هنتات وبيفتح مهمات بس يعني هنبدأ نزهق واحدة واحدة. ده إيه تميل دول؟ ديبيت ماشي. نخش الأوضة بتاعتها بقى.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.
ماشي. واضح ان دي المهمة بتاعتنا. انلايز مش عارف ويليام ايه للوركشوب. ماشي. كرافتنج محتاج ان انا انلايز الكومبوننت عشان مش عارف ايه. analyze component analyze ده يعني الحاجات هنا analyze بيفتح لي الحاجات دي.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
ماشي يلا بينا. ماشي ايه بقى اعتقد محتاجين ديفنس كوك مش عارف ايه كده. كاست نان تعمل ايه كوجريشن فامباير مش عارف ايه. ايه ده انا بقى بثبته يعني. ماشي. عندنا يعتبر شيلد ده كأنك one hit absorbed يعني بتحميني من one hit بس. طبعا كل ما هطورها كل ما تبقى أقوى. بحس ده something that can't move. ده كأني بعمله مستن يعني. أنا اشتريتها. ممكن أعلي الهيلز، ممكن أعلي الستامينا بكام؟ 300. البلاد كاباسيتي أعتقد محتاجين نعمل بلاد كاباسيتي، مش عارف. ممكن نفكنا من دي دلوقتي ونعلي البلاد. البايت بتعمل دامج أكتر، ودي ماشي. نركز على البلاد. البلاد كاباسيتي increase blood absorption before using a combat. ماشي. أنا ممكن أعلي حاجة تانية. قبل ما نستعمل increase your stamina. الستامينا أهم من كل حاجة في اللعبة دي. عجبني برضه انك انت لازم تكونفيرم، يعني انت لو عملت باك اعتقد كل ده هيروح يعني. فدي سبرينج مسؤول باناتشوال موف مش عارف ايه. في حاجات كتير بس واحدة الآن.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? The flower's dying. It needs water.
ده مية منين طيب؟
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
طيب دي المهمة الجديدة بتاعتنا.